Welcome to the show, everyone. This is Lindsey Rhodes. I'm Scott Hansen, and we are 51 days away from the NFL kicking off its 100th season.
And just 2 days away from the first training camp practice. Broncos kicking things off on Thursday. Cowboys won't take the field till next Saturday, and Randy Gregory hopes to be there. According to Ian Rappaport, the suspended pass rusher is going to apply for reinstatement this week. His suspension is for substance abuse and is the fourth one he's served since he entered the league in 2015. He's only played in 28 games in that time, but he was second on the team in sacks last year, and though it's no guarantee that he would start, he could add some valuable depth to a defensive line that's already expected to be pretty darn good, and better be, according to Andre Fluellen, who played defensive tackle in the league for 8 years and thinks that the success of the Cowboys defense will depend largely on the success of their front seven. Tell me more.
Well, I do, and no knock on their secondary at all, right? But I think that the secondary can't hold up as well as some of the other top five defenses. Hey, I have the Cowboys as one of my top five defenses in the league, but I don't know if they can hold up without that pressure from the front four. So the front four, especially, the front seven, especially the front four, has to get home faster, and they can. They have the tools to be able to do it, and I think that they will be a valuable part of that defense.
And how does Randy Gregory potentially factor into that if he is able to come back?
If he's able, that's only an addition and a bonus to them. It's just another body. I played for Rod Marinelli my rookie year in the NFL. He was the head coach and also the defensive line coach. So what that says is he runs a very defensive line friendly system. That's what he does. So he predicates the defense off the defensive line. Randy Gregory coming in, it just adds another body if he's available.
Rotate, rotate, rotate. Keep those bodies fresh. DeMarcus Lawrence, Robert Quinn, Antoine Woods, Malik Collins, Tyrone Crawford, Taco Charlton, Tristan Hill, maybe Randy Gregory. They need to get the sacks up. If they get the sacks up, maybe the turnovers get up.
Exactly.
The turnovers get up. Maybe the defensive touchdowns get up. They only had 2 in the last 3 years, and they were both the result of pressure up front. Scott?
As for the Cowboys offense, Lindsey, recent headlines have suggested Ezekiel Elliott is considering holding out if he doesn't get a new contract before this season. He still has 2 years left on his current deal. The Cowboys have been working on a new contract for Dak Prescott, who only has 1 year left. And on top of that, Amari Cooper is up for a new deal next year. This could get a little tricky given the fact that all three of these players, at least based on these numbers, I'll call your attention to the column on the far right there. That's the average annual salary for each one of those guys, Prescott, Cooper, and Elliott. They've all outplayed their current contracts. Dak Prescott, if they're talking about 20, 30 million a year, he's going to get something like a 3,000% raise on his new contract. Bring in Daniel Jeremiah, who yesterday I told you was the greatest talent evaluator on the planet. Today we find out what type of a capologist you are. Who should the Cowboys prioritize right now?
Let's not complicate things. Let's make it simple. The quarterback position, the most important position in the sport. You start with Dak Prescott, who has shown you enough, in my opinion. I've seen a consistent track record. I've seen him with comeback wins. I've seen him perform in the postseason, big moments. He's good enough moving forward to be your quarterback, so that's where you start, in my opinion. You've got to get your leader and your future, Dak Prescott, done soon.
25 years old, 2 division championships already. Not that you just credit the quarterback for that, but he was the quarterback on those 2 teams. Have you satisfied yourself with the answer to this? Can the Cowboys win the Super Bowl with Dak Prescott as their quarterback?
I always imagine when you have these decisions to make, can you close your eyes and envision the confetti falling on top of your team with this as your quarterback? And I can with Dak Prescott. Now, need some help around him, no question, and we'll get to Zeke. But I do think he's a championship caliber quarterback. You got to pay him.
Well, Dallas,
by the way, that price is only going to go up. So if you think it's maybe not a great deal now, 2 years from now you'll think differently.
Well, the Carson Wentz deal kind of shifted things perhaps for Dak Prescott because we didn't necessarily anticipate that Wentz was going to get a deal at this point and where he is set. And a lot of people think that maybe talent-wise or production-wise they've kind of been similar. So, like you said, it's only going up from here when the next round and the next generation
those numbers
get paid.
continue to jump.
If Dallas wants to make an announcement, big splash announcement before training camp. Got to get it done in a week and a half. 11 days from now, Cowboys are in training camp. Latest headlines. Free agent running back Alex Collins announced on Instagram that he recently broke his leg and had surgery on the leg to repair it. Collins was cut by the Ravens after he was arrested on drug and weapons charges 4 months ago. He is due in court for that case next week. New New York Giants wide receiver Golden Tate, he raised some eyebrows over the weekend, if you guys saw this one. In an interview with WDIV-TV in Detroit, Golden said that Matthew Stafford is the best quarterback he's ever played with. Golden has also caught passes from Carson Wentz last year and Russell Wilson at the start of his career. So, okay, Andre, what do you make of Golden saying that Stafford is his best quarterback ever?
Well, look, Stafford is really that good. Hey, I played with Matthew Stafford when I was in Detroit. I used to steal sticks of gum and soap out of his locker all the time. But what I'm saying is he doesn't get a lot of love around the league because he plays in Detroit. Look, Stafford, one of only 7 players in history to throw for over 5,000 yards and was only 40 yards away from doing it twice. Stafford has the league record for most fourth-quarter comeback wins in one season. Matthew Stafford has only had 1,000-yard rusher in his entire career, Reggie Bush in 2013. Matthew Stafford has never had a Pro Bowl offensive lineman in front of him. So what I'm saying is Matthew Stafford really is that good. It's not a knock on Russell Wilson. It's not a knock on Carson Wentz. I really believe that he thinks that Matthew Stafford is that good, and I agree with him.
Well, Golden Tate has 4 90-plus catch seasons, all with Matthew Stafford. Speaking of the Detroit Lions, Andre, a former Detroit Lion, and the Detroit Lions putting on social media, happy birthday to their all-time great, Barry Sanders, 51 years old today, and could still crank out 1,000 yards if he suited up tomorrow, in my opinion. And by the way, we said that 51 days from today is the season kickoff game. Happy birthday, Barry.
You don't appreciate Darius Leonard as much as you should. Sorry, but it's true. Yes, you know of him, and maybe you saw him play a couple of times. But the guys you do appreciate, like Khalil and Vaughn, JJ and Aaron, none of them posted a stat line like this. 8 passes defense, 2 picks, 4 forced fumbles, 2 fumble recoveries, 12 tackles for a loss, 7 sacks, and an NFL best 163 tackles.
I play good. I did.
Look, there's a reason he's called 2 things. 1, Defensive Rookie of the Year, and 2,
The Maniac.
still to come, we're calling him one more thing, our special guest. Perfect day for it, actually, because we're counting down to camp in Leonard's AFC South. We're also on Rookie Watch, calling out the debutants most likely to dominate. Still to come.